Well, greetings, listeners in Listenerland. Welcome to St. Louis in Tune with Arnold Stricker and Mark Langston, where we size up current and historic events involving people, places, and things in areas such as the arts, crime, education, employment, faith, finance, food, government, health, history, housing, humor, justice, and sports. We originate from and connect the Gateway City to what is going on regionally, nationally, and internationally. Mark, how are you today, sir?
I'm good.
Just a thought. Ding.
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a while since we've been together to do a quote-unquote new show.
Mm-hmm. It's wonderful to be back on the airwaves with you,
yes,
Arnold.
It is.
And, we have a wonderful guest today. I know that. And just so much going on. Well, we'll catch up with it all, I guess.
We will return to civility here.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
a positive kind of thing, which is always good. Positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking will.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of naysayers out there, and it's always better to look to see that the glass is half full than half empty. Perspective is a very important thing.
I can't agree more. My dad used to always tell me, good thoughts, how did he put it? I can't even remember. Good thoughts, good reactions. Bad thoughts, bad reactions.
That's true.
It's kind of like if you think bad thoughts, unfortunately, bad stuff comes your way. If you think good things, it's amazing how it works, too. If you go around thinking more positively, I think you could. When my kids say, "Oh, I'm feeling sick," and I'm going, "Don't do that negative self-talk. Stop that right now." So.
Well, and then when something, quote unquote, negative comes your way, you're more in a positive realm or aura to deal with it.
And it's more healthy for you, isn't it?
Absolutely is.
Isn't it? More healthy to think positive things?
Maybe you'll live longer.
Good things? But, yeah.
That's always good, especially if you're getting older.
I know. Okay.
What? Are we talking about us?
Why
No.
is he going there?
No.
Okay.
There's a wonderful activity that's going to be taking place outdoors for the very first time, and it's going to be coming to Tower Grove Park, and I'm going to let our guest describe what that is, but it's the 2023 Gateway Outdoor Expo, March the 31st and April the 1st. Brad Kovac from the Gateway Outdoor Expo is here. Brad, welcome to St. Louis in Tune.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So explain what the Gateway Outdoor Expo is. I know we've kind of talked about that in the past previously,
Right.
But for new listeners, they're wondering, what in the world is he talking about?
Absolutely, yeah. The Gateway Outdoor Expo is a gathering place for the outdoor community here in St. Louis. It's an exhibition with about 200 booths. Exhibitors will range everywhere from retailers who sell outdoor gear and equipment to service organizations, parks and rec community representatives, giving people the opportunity to, if they would like, come and learn about outdoor activities in St. Louis, whether that's running, hiking, camping, rock climbing, and in some cases they can come home with gear that they purchase directly on site, or maybe they're just gathering information to so that they can learn about their next adventure. But yeah, it's just a big fun opportunity for folks to come out and spend a few hours and take part in some activities on site. And this year, since we're outside, we're going to have food and drink as well, so that's something new and fun for us.
Cool, because previously it was at the Dome, or?
We've had it at a couple of different convention centers over the years. Last time it was at America Center. And this outdoor venue, it's an outdoor show. So it seems nice to have it in an outdoor venue.
Right.
And gives us a lot more space so that we can have some things like bike riding and tree climbing and some other fun activities on site. So it just helps to really expand the scope of the whole show.
Brad, are you taking over the whole park?
No, we're not that big, but hey, maybe one day. No, we're in the northeast quadrant of the park.
Okay.
So it's where Festival of Nations takes place, if people are familiar with that. And it's a free public event.
Okay.
Open to everybody. So, on those days during the hours, the exhibit hours, you don't need to buy tickets. Just come on down and join the fun.
Oh, my.
What would be those hours, Brad?
So the first day of the show is on Friday, actually. So on Friday, it's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then on Saturday, which is April 1st, it's from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m.
Okay.
And food down there and everything, exhibitors, they're kind of all lined up and ready to go?
They are, yes. So I think I mentioned we have around 200 booths.
Wow.
I think in terms of individual exhibitors, it's about 140 or 50 individual exhibitors filling that space. So a lot of variety, whether you're just getting started with the outdoor rec industry or the community, or whether you're a veteran of a sport, there's something for you there.
Now, this is also sponsored by Go St. Louis. Am I correct with that?
It is.
Oh,
yes.
neat.
So we've partnered with Go. Their marathon, half marathon, their big weekend is also that weekend on Saturday and Sunday. They hold their races. And so our event is set up on Friday and Saturday so that those racers can come down, pick up their race materials, get their T-shirts, all that sort of stuff, and then head to the races the following day for them.
And is that race going to take place at Tower Grove Park?
It does not. It takes place in downtown St. Louis. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think the start-finish is in Forest Park.
Okay.
So we're a little bit removed from that, but giving people just another opportunity that weekend to really make it special. If you're
Right.
in the race or not in the race, we still want you to come by the expo and really just build up the momentum for St. Louis in general as a big outdoor recreation fun weekend that you can take part in.
And when you talk about outdoor recreation, Mark, different people are going to think about different things.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a variety of kind of newer things out there now, like rock climbing, although there are people who have always climbed rocks. Go climb a rock,
Right.
or go climb a tree. There's tree climbers,
Yeah.
bike riders. But let's talk specifically about some of these things. You have a mountain bike demonstration area. What kind of is it? A clinic and what's going to happen with that?
Yes.
That's very popular right now.
Both.
Mountain biking.
It is. Mountain biking is exploding the last few years. So yes, one of our vendors, who's called Wheels Up, will be down there hosting that particular part of the event. There will be open riding. So if you don't have a bike, you can come down, hop on one of their bikes, and take a spin around some man-made obstacles. They'll be beginner friendly. But then if you are already a mountain biker, Wheels Up will also be offering clinics on site, and they will be doing things such as jumping, teaching you how to do more advanced tricks, and they'll have airbags down there, so you will actually be able to jump off of ramps, do a flip if you want, and land an airbag.
If you want. I want to see Arnold do the flip.
Yeah.
Come on.
Maybe a backflip.
Backflip, right? That's
Okay,
the easiest
good.
one to do.
Good.
But so that's a great opportunity again for whether you're just getting started out or you're a more advanced mountain biker. That's an example of how you can still be involved.
Wow.
And then there's just a regular, what I would call a normal bike, a balance bike, or biking for pleasure kind
Yes.
of activity.
Yeah, and that's good for younger kids who maybe aren't as confident on two wheels yet. You don't want to jump right into a mountain bike course. So you can come out on the smaller bikes, on the balance bikes, and that's being sponsored by St. Louis Bicycle Works. And they're setting up a little course on natural surface there where you can spin around and take a little more low-key tack at cycling.
Now, rock climbing, Mark, has become a huge thing. Even schools now have rock climbing walls in the gymnasiums, and
I'm a belay. It's because I'm so large. They Mark, be the belay over here.
A good anchor.
Yes. You know what a belay is?
I just learned what it is.
Oh, okay.
It's an anchor.
It took. I was a few years ago when we first started rock climbing with my scout troop. I didn't know what a belay was, and what a fun thing it is to do rock climbing. Brian.
Oh, it is.
It really is.
And it's a workout.
It is a workout. Are you going to have rock climbing?
Upper Limits local
good.
gym is bringing their rock climbing wall. So I believe it's 23 feet tall. It has a few different routes on it. You're roped in, so there's no danger. Of course,
Right.
if you do fall, it's totally you're automatically suspended. But that's free. So that's a fun one for kids, especially. They seem to enjoy doing that. And I believe if you complete the wall, if you make it to the top and ring the bell, Upper Limits is going to give you some sort of prize.
Good. I like that.
Ooh.
New car or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
So they have automatic belays too. Last time I was there, that's an interesting concept too.
Wow.
It's like a big spring or whatever.
Correct.
Yes.
And that's what's included on the wall there.
Oh, is that right?
I think there's 3 or 4 auto belays on
So
there.
they're not relying on me to stop by and be
If
the
you would
belay.
like to come by, they might
Yeah.
give you a job.
I had to be certified to be a of belay. It's they don't mess around with that.
A certified belay.
I'm a certified
How
belay.
do you spell belay?
I don't even know.
Belay.
Oh, good for you. That's probably it.
Okay.
I hope no one's checking me at home.
No,
It's kind of like delay, belay.
belay. That's right.
that makes sense.
I know I had to you had to get certified, be a certified belay person.
I can understand that for insurance purposes.
Yeah, and you want to make sure you do it right. Make sure because if somebody falls, you want to make sure they're not
Right, hurting themselves.
Yeah, I mean it's bad enough you're going to be bouncing off the wall probably, but.
So if they come down, you go up?
No.
That can happen.
That's right. Yes, that's right. It could happen.
Now, tree climbing. I was fascinated by this because sometimes you see a tree, and especially in Tower Grove Park, tons of trees.
Oh, yeah.
There are some trees that are what I would call better climbing trees than other trees.
Absolutely.
And there must be some kind of skill and art, just like there is in rock climbing.
Yeah, so I'm not the expert on tree climbing, but I do just know a little bit. You do have to find the correct tree.
Right.
In this case, I believe we're using sycamores, which are very hardwood, very large, very safe trees. They did have to be certified before this event, so we're not just randomly throwing people in a tree we've picked out. They've been safety certified, and much like rock climbing, in this case with the technical tree climbing, you're roped in, so you wear a harness. There will be belayers there, so if by chance you were to miss a hold at a branch, you're not going to fall to the ground. You would just be suspended on a rope, and then they lower you down. But you'll have the opportunity.
Pinata. You become a pinata then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Go ahead.
No, you'll have the opportunity to climb trees that are 50 feet tall, and and really get up over the park and see the event and the entire park from a really interesting point of view.
Yeah, I hate to keep just jumping in here, but my experience is Maplewood Richmond Heights High School has a tree that in the parking lot. It's a sycamore, and the whole class is there, and they climb that tree. They have ropes up and through that tree, and they're climbing that tree all the time. And at one time, they wanted to cut that tree down, and now the kids are like, "No, I'm glad you didn't." But Brian's right. I mean, it's very serious. You start climbing a tree like that.
Oh, right.
Those are big trees.
Yeah. And that may be with the vendor who is sponsoring that particular event is called Vertical Voyages. They do travel around to schools and other organizations to host events on site, so it very well may be them at the school you're mentioning.
Right.
We're talking to Brad Kovac. He is from the Gateway Outdoor Expo, and you're listening to St. Louis in Tune with Arnold Stricker and Mark Langston. Now, the booths probably going to be underneath, the tents and everything like that.
Correct.
A lot of giveaways. Do you anticipate with things like that?
Yeah, I think a lot of folks do that. It's not rocket science to figure out that you get a little more traffic at your booth if you're doing raffles and giveaways and that sort of stuff. So I do know a few have told me they would be giving away things or raffling off items, but I think the chances that most people will be doing some sort of, fun spin a wheel giveaway, or maybe it's, cornhole, toss the beanbag sort of thing. But it makes things more engaging and interactive.
Yeah.
Do you think because the venue will be outside and what I'm going to say more centrally located, that you will expect more people to show up? We
do, and that's the hope, certainly. Having it in an outdoor venue, I think, is just more attractive in general, and hopefully we get a good weather day. It's supposed to be in the 60s from what I hear, but it's still 2 weeks away. Who knows? But it's nice at this time of year. You've been stuck indoors for the past 3 months, so we hope that by having it outside and it being an outdoor show, an outdoor community show, that athletes and enthusiasts are ready to, get out of their home and come spend a day with us.
Now, I kind of want to transition a little bit because there's Terrain Magazine, and I want you to talk about that, and also River City Outdoors. I'm trying to understand the linkage with all those because I have a question after you kind of describe all that.
Sure. So Terrain Magazine is my primary job. I am the editor and publisher of that magazine. It started 9 years ago this January. Sort of started as a passion project. It was something that I've always been interested in the outdoors, and professionally I was in the magazine and newspaper business. So kind of thought I wanted to try something on my own, and the stars aligned. There was a need for a magazine such as that in this area. We were an emerging outdoor community, and so I thought let's see if I can get some traction here and help to build some momentum. And not to take all the credit or anything, but I think it was just good timing. There were a lot of things happening with different groups coming about at that time that we all sort of merged in a way. And so 9 years later, here we are. We're still writing the magazine. It comes out every other month and covers, much like the expo, all the different aspects of the outdoors. So whether you're a hiker, a camper, or a cyclist, or rock climber, we try to give something for everybody in each issue. And it's a large part education in terms of knowing where to go, what groups you might want to be involved with, and some technical know-how. But we try to stick more with the connecting people rather than telling you exactly the technical aspects of sports. You can find that in other magazines, but we just really want to build some groundswell here to get people enthused and get them outdoors and active.
Subscription based, or how do people subscribe to that or get that magazine?
Right, it's free in local outdoor stores. So if you go to a running store, your local bike shop, your outfitter, hopefully they have it there. If you would like to get an in-home subscription, you may. That costs for in-home just to pay for the mailing. But otherwise, pick it up around town every other month. And if you have trouble finding it, you can look on our website, and we have a full list of where you can get it.
And that website is Terrain, TERRAIN-mag.com.
That's correct. And then to answer your second question, River City Outdoors is a newer initiative. It is it's aligned with Terrain. We actually both are owned by the same nonprofit foundation and funded through that foundation. River City Outdoors is sort of the advocacy arm. Terrain is more of a communication vehicle. River City Outdoors is actively creating a network within the St. Louis outdoor community to get kids, especially kids in underserved communities, outdoors, get them introduced to things like hiking and camping and fishing, and then continuing to educate them and give them the resources they need for repeat experiences outside. The hope being that everyone adopts that outdoor lifestyle, and we can create some generational change and really, again, continue to build the outdoor community here. There's so much to do in St. Louis and in Missouri that I think a lot of people still don't realize with regard to the outdoors. And so, we're just trying to educate people, but then also get them outside through River City Outdoors, actively involved, and then, hopefully keep that momentum going.
Mark, that what Brad brought up is a very, very important point that I don't want listeners to gloss over. The fact that when you and I were growing up, man, we'd get on our bikes and we'd be gone until dark.
Till the street lights come on.
That's right, yeah. And then came back, or we'd be out, in the neighborhood. There's trees, there's grass. And I think about some of the areas in our city where there are very few trees, a lot of vacant buildings.
Right.
No trees, no grass, a lot of weeds, and then you couple that with some of the crime things that are going on. I'm surprised no kids do go out,
right?
And so they miss that physical activity or just getting out into nature and just enjoying what's out there. I think that initiative is just tremendous. Do you have like a summer program where you have a camp where you take kids out? To like Elephant Rocks or something like that, and they get out to enjoy the outdoors? We're
working that direction. So really, River City Outdoors is more the facilitator, the network builder, if you will. We don't have programs ourselves. We want to tap into programs that are already existing, and then go to perhaps a school group or a Boys and Girls Club and make the connection with perhaps it's a paddling program that already exists. We're trying to connect those dots. And then we also do provide funding. So we might provide a grant to a school that wanted to create an outdoor adventure club or something like that, and then help them to connect with the programs that are in existence. In that way, we're trying not to, we don't want to own or take over the outdoor space. We just want to keep building and, embracing what's there and encouraging those groups that already exist to flourish.
That's refreshing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, very much so. Yeah. I love the outdoors. Don't do it enough, What I like about what he's doing is it's, I think about camping. When I talk about outdoors, I think about camping and hiking and things, but you're going into all the different aspects of getting outside, which I think is real important for folks to some that you may not have even heard of, thought about. And there's things that I might like, mountain biking. I mean, I don't do it, but I'd love to go to a booth or somebody that knows a lot about it and find out more about it. And this is a tremendous opportunity to do that with what Brad's doing here.
Yeah, because there are some trails, and I'm sure, these folks, they know all these places to go.
Yeah, but you don't, do
Right,
you? Yeah,
right.
I don't, yeah.
Yeah.
It was an education for me as well.
Right.
Over the past 9 years, I've learned more than I ever thought existed here in terms of trails and parks and different areas that I had no idea. And I grew up in St. Louis, but sometimes you just don't know unless you have some sort of resource to tune you into it. So hopefully we're doing a little part to provide that service.
Yeah. Do they do a hiking? Do you have a hiking people out there, like the Powder Valley?
There are numerous hiking groups in town. There will be some at the expo, as an example. It's a great way to come down and learn those things. It's a lot easier to get involved with the outdoors when you have like-minded folks.
Right.
There's a little bit of accountability when you join a group. There's also a lot of social aspect to it. So that's, again, something we hope to do through the magazine and the expo.
Now, would this also encompass what I would call winter outdoor things like skiing or snowboarding or things like that?
No, that's a very good question. We have had Hidden Valley at the expo in the past. I don't believe they signed up this year, but they would be the go-to place for skiing and snowboarding. Some of the vendors sell and service skis and snowboards. So yeah, and there are local groups that are into those particular activities. Again, I don't think that any of them had signed up this year, but you'd be amazed. You make one connection through a hiking or a camping group, and next thing you know, you find out that some of those guys are into skiing and snowboarding, and it just snowballs from there. No pun intended. So yeah, I mean, what is interesting. There's a dog sled group in St. Louis that we've been trying to engage with a while, and I'm sure we will at some point. But so yeah, even though we're in a climate that isn't necessarily lately that conducive to snow sports, there are plenty of enthusiasts out there.
Right.
Is there a zip line group or something like that?
That's a good question. There are zip line vendors coming into the expo, so I would come and check those out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
That's kind of, ooh.
I haven't done a zip line in a long time. Now they've got them where you like lay down or you're like stretched out,
like Superman.
Like Superman. That's a good way to put it.
Now a big thing is ropes courses, which is sort of the next evolution of zip lining. Not only are you just cabled in and zooming from one spot to the next, you're actually climbing cargo nets. You're negotiating obstacles while you're suspended in the air. So that's fun and interesting.
Kind of like Marine boot camp.
Wow. But fun. Right?
Yeah.
Somebody's not screaming at you. Right?
Yeah, you don't have to stay for 8 weeks.
Right. Okay. You might want to. Wow.
So, folks, if you want to go to and I want to emphasize at this one point, the oldest and largest outdoor recreation and adventure sports show in the greater St. Louis area, you need to go to Tower Grove Park, the Northeast Quadrant, Friday and Saturday, March 31st and April 1st. It is going to be the Gateway Outdoor Expo, the 2023 version, and you're going to have a wide variety of things. And Brad will be there walking around just gawking at all the wonderful things that are there and saying, wow, all this hard work has finally paid off. So, Brad, we're greatly appreciative that you came in today to talk about this.
Thank you for having me anytime.
Give me a 30-second commercial on why somebody should go.
Oh, boy. Come down and climb a 60-foot sycamore tree and see Tower Grove Park in St. Louis like you never have before.
Wow.
That's a great way to do it.
Kind of sells me on it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going.
I wouldn't mind doing that.
Oh, yeah. I want to see you do it. I'll boost you up.
For sycamore trees, I'm not a fan of them because I had to rake their leaves. They have huge leaves and they debark.
As long as it's not those gumballs, those green gumball trees, whatever those things are.
Oh, yeah.
Those are dangerous.
Yeah. Or the sycamore trees, they have these flowery things that come off their balls, too.
Oh, do they?
And
okay.
It's just a lot of work
Is it
for
the
those
same
trees.
thing? Okay,
They're high maintenance trees.
We don't need that.
No.
Yep. Okay.
All right. We're going to come back after break, and we're going to talk more about some other activities that are going on in the St. Louis metropolitan area, but we want to make sure that you go to the 2023 Gateway Outdoor Expo, the 31st of March and the 1st of April. This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston of St. Louis in Tune. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to St. Louis in Tune. On each and every show, we strive to bring you informative, useful, and reflective stories and interviews about current and historic issues and events that involve people, places, and things. Hey, we cover a wide range of content in the arts, crime, education, employment, faith, finance, food, health, history, housing, and humor, justice, and sports, and that's just to name a few. While St. Louis in Tune originates from the Gateway City and covers local topics, we connect to what is going on nationally as well. If you missed any of our previously aired programs of St. Louis in Tune, simply visit stlintune.com. That's stlintune.com. There you'll find every show from our first to our most current. Use the search engine and look for a show that might interest you. And if you have an area that you'd like us to examine deeper, let us know. Just drop us a line at stlintune@gmail.com. That's STL. St. Louis in Tune, heard Monday through Friday on the usradionetwork.com and many great stations around the U.S. and, of course, right here in St. Louis. Our website again is stlintune.com. stlintune.com.
This is Arnold Stricker of St. Louis in Tune on behalf of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation. In 1857, the Dred Scott decision was a major legal event and catalyst that contributed to the Civil War. The decision declared that Dred Scott could not be free because he was not a citizen. The 14th Amendment, also called the Dred Scott Amendment, granted citizenship to all born or naturalized here in our country and was intended to overturn the U.S. Supreme Court decision on July 9, 1868. The Dred Scott Heritage Foundation is requesting a commemorative stamp to be issued from the U.S. Postal Service to recognize and remember the heritage of this amendment by issuing a stamp with the likeness of the man Dred Scott. But we need your support and the support of thousands of people who would like to see this happen. To achieve this goal, we ask you to download, sign, and share the one-page petition with others. To find the petition, please go to dredscottlives.org and click on the Dred Scott Petition Drive on the right side of the page. On behalf of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation, this has been Arnold Stricker of St. Louis in Tune.
Wow.
Welcome back to St. Louis in Tune. This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston. Fun time there with Brad about the Gateway Outdoor Expo.
Wow.
Going to be some good times there. Folks, you need to go to that. Bring the family.
Yeah. And friends and groups and whatever. It's
yes. Especially if people have done a lot of these things and then maybe they are in a group like that, just to bring people out.
Right. People don't go outside enough, Arnold.
No, they don't.
No, they don't get out and enjoy themselves. Get that fresh air,
Too much social media, too much of the phone. There's neck problems with people because they're bending over and reading their...
I believe it. I believe it 100%. 100% I believe that.
Well, we, along with what we talked about with Brad, wanted to highlight some things going on, specifically in March and April. And Mark and I had the opportunity to be involved with some of the soccer stuff. Some great soccer we're seeing, Mark.
Yeah, it's who would have thought, who would have thunk it? I think, do we have a who to thunk it around here somewhere?
We do.
But anyway, who would have thought that our brand new soccer team would be 3-0 when we're recording this? Hopefully after this week's game it'll be 4-0. But they've won 3 games usually, and they've got 3 St. Louis kids on the soccer team. One of them is 17 years old. I didn't know that till today.
Yeah, still goes to Pattonville High School.
And he's playing this weekend.
It's crazy.
He's 17.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So there's 3 St. Louis kids. I guess I call them kids. They're athletes that are playing, and then I think it's pretty much even after that. I think it's like 14 Europeans or other countries and 14 American folks in there. But folks didn't give us a lot of a lot of what do I want to say? They didn't think we were going to do real well, and boy, have we surprised them. I think they're real excited, Arnold. I think the camaraderie and this, they've just been wanting to play for so long, and they're just really enthusiastic about it. And so, yeah, it's great. We've got a football team back now, the XFL. I know. We were, Randy Molman with the Mole Hole was talking this morning about how the XFL last week had a total, with people that went to all the different games, it was about 40,000 people.
Wow.
For all the games in the XFL. But last week, just in St. Louis, we had 30,000.
Wow.
So you went from 40,000 for the whole XFL for 1 week to St. Louis doing 30,000 in one day. So,
but St. Louis doesn't support football, according to Stan Kroenke.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Well, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Stan, he didn't put a good team together. Didn't put a good team on the. And then he said, after he didn't put a good team on the field, and just tore it apart for years. I mean, this is me talking. This is Mark, like you would say. This is Mark. Then he said, "Hey, well, nobody's showing up."
Yeah.
I know.
Even though they were sellouts.
I know. And one other thing about that whole losing the Rams thing, well, there's a couple things, but one thing really gets in my craw.
We're not bitter about it.
You're going to yell at me about this too. But that Kansas City team, the Chiefs, he voted to boot us out.
Right.
To get rid of the Rams.
I think there were only 2 owners that did not vote to move us.
Yeah. And I was sad that the Kansas City ownership did.
Well, they figured they could glean some more fans.
That's right, and they'd be the only one in the state of Missouri.
Right.
That must be. I don't know why they decided that they should vote against us, but we're their neighbors. I thought.
When it comes to football, I guess not.
No, Cowtown. All right, I'm going to go after them.
Yeah.
Is it in Cowtown? Is that what they call Kansas City? Cowtown.
Yeah, it's the place where they had the horse.
They called it Cowtown.
Kemper Horse Arena. Yeah, it had a huge.
It used to be called Cowtown.
Huge cattle area that burned.
Right.
Yeah.
And they used to. Yeah, there's a lot of cattle that went through Kansas City for a long time.
Correct.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're not bitty about Kroenke. And then when he got that one award, last thing I'll say, they got that award that he got a sports award from
Sportsman of the Year.
Yeah, Missouri, and he said, "I will
Serious?
never." Yes, and he said, "I will never move this team out of St. Louis."
He had his fingers crossed.
I know. We should take that. We should take that award back, I think. Okay, I'm done with my sports.
March 18th, if you're listening to this after that, oh well, too bad. The St. Louis Shamrock Stroll on St. Patrick's Day, weekend bar crawls going on. The cherry blossoms are in bloom at the Missouri Botanical Garden through they're just kind of starting in right now. And look at those through April. On March the 23rd through the 26th, the Moolah Shrine Circus is going to be in town. And that's always a big, big event. There is right now going on through the 25th of March. The 25th and the 26th of March is the Schlafly's Stout and Oyster Festival.
Oy.
That's at the Tap Room.
Yum.
Yeah.
Yum.
I'm not a big fan of oysters. Raw oyster. I can't do raw oysters.
No, I get it.
The Cardinals' opening day is March 30th.
Can't wait. Oh, and KXOK is going to be carrying
the Spanish broadcast.
Broadcast of that. Yep. Which is a first. Yeah.
So
first.
Just a couple things there that are going on. I also want to mention the Shakespeare Festival for those of you who love the Shakespeare in the Park.
Oh, love
it. Forest Park. That has they're doing a whole lot that's going on at a lot of different times. But May the 31st, you kind of need to put these on your calendar or be looking for them. May the 31st through June 25th. That's when Shakespeare in the Park's going on. That's free at the Shakespeare Festival area in the park near the Art Museum. And then they are doing some tours in 24 different parks in the month of August. So you can go to their website. It's stlshakes.org and get some more information about that. They're doing Shakespeare in the Streets, and it has an emphasis this year, Mark. It's called Soccer in St. Louis, and that's going to be the second week in September. That's going to be downtown St. Louis, and then they have their holiday show in November and December, and that's at the Blues Museum down on Washington Avenue.
Nice.
So a lot of different things happening in the area that we want you to get involved with. We have a great city and a great community that has some events that are something for everybody.
I've gone to the Shakespeare in the park. It was the traveling portion of it where they go around to different cities, and I think we had them on Sutton Boulevard in downtown Maplewood. They kind of moved it into a parking lot, and there they lit it up. They had a stage, and they did Shakespeare right there, and we were under the stars, and it was just
fun.
It is fun. It's fantastic. And you mentioned cherry blossoms. Have you ever been in Washington D.C. when the cherry blossoms?
I've been there at the end of it, and they was still vibrant, but not like they were like a week and a half before.
Right. Boy, they've got a lot of cherry blossom trees
Gorgeous
there.
Along the mall area, Jefferson Memorial, just beautiful.
Something worth doing. Yeah, something.
It is.
Put it on a bucket list or something like that. But that is really fun to do the cherry blossom stuff.
We're going to move into some comedy.
Uh-oh.
I know we're going to have a shorter show today. We're just kind of getting back into things, and we've had a lot on our plates.
I know. I tried to talk him out of it. Okay,
But I've been saving these.
Oh, no.
So my uncle texted me and asked me what IDK meant. I said, I don't know. And he said, man, nobody knows.
Oh, no. You've been saving these up? Is that right?
I thought I'd be the kind of person who'd wake up early in the morning to exercise. And I was right.
I don't know what's happening here.
The wife said, our new neighbors are so in love. He kisses her, strokes her hair, and hugs her. Why don't you do that? I said, because I don't know her that well yet.
Oh, gosh. No, that's not bad. That's very bad. That's
now, you know,
bad.
there were a couple banks that failed here recently. I'm just serious.
Okay.
There were some banks that back in Silicon Valley, and also a Swiss bank failed. Now, this is the joke portion, folks, so just kind of clarifying.
Okay. All right.
Banks should do a better job of keeping their ATMs filled. This is the fifth one I've been to that says insufficient funds.
Oh, man. Another ooga.
I hate it when I see an old person and then realize we went to high school together.
Oh, no.
Yesterday,
You're not talking about me, are you?
I looked at you when I said that, and you were looking at me. So
I know,
no, a present company excluded.
Okay, thank you.
Yesterday, I was cooking dinner, and my son came up to me and said, one day I will work and help you with the bills, the groceries, and the house expenses.
Wow.
Well, my eyes started to tear up. My baby will be 32 next month. You know, a couple weeks ago, maybe it was like a week ago, it was like 72 degrees. And later this week, it's supposed to be like 18.
Yeah.
You know, Mother Nature's just throwing out temperatures like Powerball numbers. 82, 42, 16, 53.
Give us another one.
So my kid says to me, I feel like you're always making up rules and stuff. Yeah. I said, like what? Like if I don't clean my room, a portal will open up and take me to another dimension. Well, that's what happened to your older brother. What older brother? Exactly.
You didn't know, did you? Okay. Wow.
A wise man once told his wife,
Uh-oh.
nothing because he was a wise man. You know, folks, now if you're driving when you're hearing this, don't hit the car in front of you. When you are stressed, you eat ice cream, cake, chocolate, and sweets. Why? Because stressed spelled backwards is desserts.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You're going to take this on the road. At the Funny Bone this week is Arnold.
So this is a warm one.
Okay.
And we'll kind of close on this one.
Okay.
It's an encouraging one, and it was a very thoughtful one. A professor gave a balloon to every student to write their name on it and throw it in the hallway. The students were given 5 minutes to find their own balloon. No one found their balloon. The professor told the students to take the first balloon they found and hand it to the person whose name was written on it. Within 5 minutes, everyone had their own balloon. The professor said to the students, "These balloons are like happiness. We will never find it if everyone is looking for their own. But if we care about other people's happiness, we find ours too."
Oh, stop. Where? Oh, that's a good way to end. Oh, that's really nice,
That was
actually.
a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And the photograph that goes along with that is like in a school
Okay.
that there's thousands of balloons in the hallway.
Oh, my. Wow.
So we're going to shut her down early today, Mark.
Okay, well, that's too bad, but there'll be other opportunities.
That's correct.
We'll go over next time.
And we're going to be kicking things off. We've been under the gun and doing a lot of different things, folks, the last couple months. And Mark and I are going to be getting back in the swing of things, of getting the show on regularly.
Yep.
So you won't be hearing the repeat shows. This has been a pre-recorded show.
Right.
You'll hear more current ones. Okay?
I know, and we've got quite a lot of
We do.
a lot of folks lined up already. So it's going to be fun to get back in the swing of things. Yeah,
It will be. So that's all for this hour. We thank you for listening. Don't forget, when the Martians invade, they need to go to Tower Grove Park and go to the Gateway Outdoor Expo. There's only one race, the human race, and every one of us have different characteristics and is uniquely valuable. St. Louis in Tune is a production of Motif Media and Ratio St. Louis. For St. Louis in Tune, co-host Mark Langston, I'm Arnold Stricker. Remember to walk worthy and let your light shine.